you excited? Did you watch the latest 2 episodes?
I think this one here was super cool because you get to meet all the old clones again.
Absolutely. Who doesn't like Rex?
I think everybody loves Rex as long as you watch the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, if you're watching this, I hope you watch the Clone Wars first.
Oh, yeah. You're missing out on a lot. I mean, when I started, I'm an OG guy. I didn't watch the old Clone Wars. I didn't grow up with that. But I went back and I started watching them all. They're all very enjoyable, even though maybe some of the animation might be campy nowadays. But it's still got some great story. It's got some great Star Wars in there. And Rex is fantastic.
So, we have a lot to talk about because we got a couple of theories. The first one, we were watching this episode, and the Shadow clones, or the X clones, I found them to be quite interesting on how they shadow Crosshair. So, what do you think is up with that? I'm thinking that they were programmed with his abilities or some of his genetic material.
Oh, I think they somehow stole it from him?
You think that's a possibility? Right. Maybe that's where his shake comes from?
Yeah. I like how they referred to these guys early in the episodes as shadows. It's these shadows that have been following us. And it almost feels like, like Link you fought a shadow version of yourself, And I like that about this, because when you get to this fight with Crosshair and this clone, you can almost tell he's fighting himself.
Yeah, 100%. The mirrors were there the whole time.
Yeah, but it's a more improved version. But they stole his. Did they steal it? Did they literally steal his power, or is his lack of shooting because of?
Well, I think the shooting issue or the hand shaking is actually trauma. I think he was tortured when he was on Tantis to try and join this, as they alluded to try and join this elite squad. Because I honestly think they wanted him to be the leader of it. But when he had that epiphany on that ice planet and realized that the Empire doesn't care about him, he changed his mind and they couldn't torture him to the point where he would be subservient. But I mean, you look at the helmet, the gun, the way the guy acts. He's a mirror image of Crosshair, and I think it's gonna, as the rest of the season progresses, I think that's gonna be part of his character development, is his fight between basically what is essentially his mirror image. But
or maybe lots of them.
Yeah,
lots of his shadows, or maybe just as one.
No, well, this is already the second one we've seen, because we've seen one earlier that committed suicide by killing themselves by biting into their teeth. So I think we're going to see a few more, but
the way they staged this, it almost made it feel like they stole his power. Like Crosshair couldn't shoot the other clone. The clone just turns around and snipes the ship out of the sky.
So the other thing I found interesting about these particular clones, these ones that have had their memories wiped or completely subservient to the Empire, is I'm wondering, see right here, this is something that Crosshair would do. That shot is a Crosshair shot right there, right?
Exactly.
100%. But the one thing is the subservient clones. Maybe those are the clones that we're seeing following Thrawn around. It's possible too.
Oh, in the new Ahsoka.
Yeah, in Ahsoka, his clone army could be these subservient clones. Because again, in the Legends novels, Thrawn had his base of operations on Tantis, leading up to after the events of the fall of the Empire. So now that he's back from his journey from Ahsoka, or before he left for Ahsoka, it's possible that he knows about Tantis. Yeah, and he's trying to. Yeah,
they were both talking about Project Necromancer.
Yeah.
Right, so there is some sort of tie in there. And here's Wolf.
Oh, good old Wolf. He was in Rebels as well. He was out there with Rex. So I think, and right now he's against Rex. So this might be, maybe we get a view into how Rex and Wolf get back together for the Rebels.
And that's what I'm talking about. This is one of the greatest part about Bad Batch, because you get to see the choices that all the clones have to make through this change as the Empire's coming to power.
Well, and on top of this, you really get a view into what Palpatine's really afraid of, and the only thing that he's afraid of, which is death, which is really cool when you talk about Plagueis, his former master, because his former master was Plagueis was really looking into and digging into eternal life, and this is Sidious's Palpatine's answer to that. The other thing I'm kind of curious, and they haven't answered to this yet, is we were talking the other day, and I think what's left unsaid is what happened to Wrecker's eye.
Was that me?